This computer is not selling. Welcome to another episode of Flipping PCs Until I Buy a House. My name is Elijah and I'm flipping computers, saving up the profits to put a down payment on a house. My goal is to save up 15 grand. After the last episode, we're so close to $4,000, so we're a little over a quarter of the way there. I know $15,000 isn't a ton, but when the time comes, I plan to take advantage of first-time homebuyer programs and then flip PCs to pay my mortgage. Anyways, today I have some issues with the PC selling as you saw in the intro, but right now I'm actually starting off with a sell, and I'm not gonna lie, this one was actually easy. I built a pretty clean all-white gaming PC. It has a Ryzen 5 2700, which I bought on eBay, and I paired that with a graphics card from eBay, this all-white GTX 1070. The rest of the PC is pretty solid too. We got 16 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte SSD, 500 watt power supply, and RGB. This computer performs great, and after testing it, I took some pictures and made the ad. I had the perfect recipe for a flip, and I ended up listing it on my Facebook Marketplace and my Jawa account for a little online exposure. Within 1 week, it sold on Jawa. After the fees, which includes a selling fee and shipping insurance, we're left with $480.16. After subtracting our total cost, we get a profit of $153.40. I would say that's not a bad profit and definitely not a bad start to the episode. But remember the intro, we have a computer that isn't selling, so let's tackle that after a word from our sponsor. Super CDK is running their back to school sale, and it's perfect if you just built a new PC or you happen to flip computers as well. Instead of dropping $200 on a Windows key for Microsoft, visit Super CDK down below and be sure to use the discount code SPLA to get 25% off. You can get Windows 11 Pro for $22 after the discount. You can get Windows 10 Pro for $17. The discount code also saves you money on other Microsoft Office products such as Office 2019. Once you're ready to check out, they accept different forms of payment. Once you get the key, activating it is so simple. Head to your orders page on Super CDK, click Get Key, then just copy and paste it into your window activation settings, and bam, no more watermark, and you saved yourself $200. Thank you Super CDK for sponsoring this video. Be sure to check out their back to school sale with the links in the description. This thing has been listed for quite some time. I've gotten trade requests, I've gotten lowball offers, and I've even had someone message me and ask to see a video of it running. As I said, it's been listed a good amount of time, but I really haven't responded to all of the messages I've gotten. I know, terrible job on my end. So let's respond to those people and see if anyone will buy it for the asking price. Oh crap, I forgot to reset this PC and put a Windows key on it. I just sent the video to one guy and I responded to one of the lowball offers with a counter offer. If it doesn't sell in a few days, I'll come back and we'll just figure it out together. In the meantime though, let me tell you about our newest flip. It's this super sleek all black computer and it has an RTX 3060. So my total cost for this RTX 3060 build was $388.12. For the CPU, it is rocking an i5-10400F, which I bought for $20 on my Facebook Marketplace. It was actually in this series just a few episodes back. I paired that CPU with this B460 motherboard from eBay, and I slotted in 32 gigabytes of RAM and a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD. I benchmarked this PC in 1440p and it ran great. Cyberpunk with high settings was averaging 66 FPS. Helldivers 2 was able to play at 1440p at the low preset and averaged 77 FPS. 1080p would definitely be better for that game. And then for an easier to run game like Fortnite, it was getting around 174 FPS with DirectX 12 running at pro settings. Now I only listed this PC for sale over on Jawa and the ad is doing good. We have 8 hearts and 22 people are watching it. Unfortunately, it hasn't sold yet, so let's add it to Facebook and hopefully it sells soon. That's the theme of this episode. PCs just aren't selling. Or are they? Who knows? Maybe I have a meeting time set up for later today. Let's go. We're gonna make some profit in about 10 minutes. Goodbye, PC. It was nice having you sit in my room forever.
This is for you? No, this is for my wife.
Oh, okay.
My son games, and he actually built his own PC.
Oh, really?
He built mine. And my wife plays a lot of WoW,
Oh, okay.
World of Warcraft.
Uh-huh.
And when he was younger, we used to play together all the time. She kind of got hooked. But you know, every time they upgrade or throw an expansion, she's running a laptop plugged into a monitor. And she's always complaining, it's dragging, it's, you know. So I told my son, I said, find me a computer. Your mom needs a new computer, so we're going to get her a desktop. I had my son look at the specs that you had on there, and he said it won't have any problem running. But
Yeah, it should do great, especially for WoW. And
yeah,
of course, if she does anything else. There it is. It's all there.
good. Yeah. You think it would be?
Just checking.
Yeah.
No.
I get it.
The funds are secured. It was an older gentleman who bought it, which is kind of cool. He said he bought it for his wife and they're gonna play World of Warcraft together. It's like the sweetest thing ever. But what's even sweeter is that profit. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Benjis. The profit on this one is nearly $300. And the reason it is so fat is because someone named Hunter Smith, he donated the graphics card and the case to us in a couple episodes back. But man, this PC took forever to sell. I listed it on June 26th. Today is August 2nd. Longer than a month, but hey, we got that profit finally. So why did this PC take so long to sell? Let's talk about it. Well, at least why I think it took so long to sell. But first, let me tell you the specs of the computer so you can kind of have some context. For the CPU, this PC is rocking Ryzen 5 3600. That's on a B450 motherboard with 16 gigabytes of RAM and a 1TB NVMe SSD. Now the last performance part is the GPU, and that's a GTX 1660 Super. The computer looks pretty good, but here is another computer that I listed around the same time. I actually listed it on the same day. The only difference, one was listed at 9 a.m. in the morning and the other was listed around 4:30 p.m. Now the big difference between the ads, one made me profit in about a month and one made me profit in 1 day. Yeah, pretty big difference. Now I don't think me listing it later on in the day really had an effect on it of it selling faster opposed to the other one. I think the reason this PC took so long to sell was the aesthetics, mainly the case. It was a pretty tall mid-tower case, just looked like your generic case with a mesh front panel and tempered glass side panel. I also paired that case with a micro ATX motherboard, so it just didn't fill out the case completely, so it also looked a little weird. And to top it all off, it was a black build, and the other PC that sold in 1 day was a pretty clean all-white PC. So with that, I think I know what I have to do. Start prioritizing white PC builds and try my hardest to pair ATX cases with ATX motherboards. Well, you heard what I said. Let's build another PC, more specifically a white build. All right, let's just get started. For the motherboard, I'm using this Gigabyte A320. Now this is going to be a more budget build, but it should still make us 150 bucks in profit, at least around 150 bucks in profit. Now for the CPU, I'm using this Ryzen 7 2700, which I bought on eBay for around $45, I wanna say. Now for the RAM, I'm using this white kit because like I said, I'm building a white build. It's a Corsair 2x8 gigabytes, Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro, clocked at 3200 megahertz. These were bought on eBay for a pretty good price. And for our NVMe SSD, I'm going with an option I use a lot of the times, especially in my budget builds. It's a 1TB King Spec Gen 3, around 45, 50 bucks on Amazon. The original price is actually 60, but I bought like 5 of them on Amazon Prime Day. And then to cool the CPU, I'm going with no other than the white ID Cooling Tower Cooler, around $20, great option. And with that, the build is almost done. For our case, I'm using an option that's been sitting in my kitchen for a while. It's a white Antec NX200M, I believe that's the model name. It's an all white micro ATX case. It looks pretty clean. Now it doesn't have any ARGB fans, so I'm adding this 3-pack of Thermalright white ARGB fans. And to control them, I'm using this cheap controller from Amazon, and then tying the rest of the white build together. Of course, I'm using white cable extensions. And to top it all off, I'm using a white GPU, one of the last GTX 1070s that I have in my inventory. Well, here's the build. Unfortunately, it's not complete. The first reason, that RGB controller that I said I have, I don't actually have it, so I'm gonna have to buy some more. And the second reason is right behind my hand. This power supply is ugly. This build is almost all white, and this power supply is really throwing it off. Normally I don't mind too much, and I've never vinyl wrapped the power supply before, but I'm gonna buy some white vinyl wrap because I really think it will help this build. The only thing that sucks, I'm going camping in 1 day, so all the stuff I'm ordering for this build, it won't be here in time. But even without RGB, this build looks pretty clean. I know this episode was a bit shorter compared to my other ones, but like I said, I'm going camping, so I just wanna come home to a fresh start, and we can start with this PC in the next episode. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, go and smash that like button, subscribe if you loved it, and you can go and click here and watch the previous episode in this series, or when I release episode 13, it will be right here.